Okay, so the GPR damper that you guys just saw in the clips before, that was, in my eyes, suitable for a sport bike. However, looking more into it, and especially contacting GPR, they confirmed that there's no way this can actually fit to my motorcycle or any similar design of a motorcycle like so, meaning that this was meant for a completely different application. Further discussions took place with GPR, and a representative mentioned that this was actually made many years back for a dirt bike. So a universal dirt bike dampener. Fantastic. Well, I kind of had to just accept the fact that I got scammed because the guy mentioned it was off an R6, but it wasn't. And I also had to find a solution and try to pass this on to another motorcycle enthusiast who may be looking for this. And I managed to have a good friend of mine come by and pick it up for me. He was going to use it for his KTM dirt bike, and he was super thrilled. So it worked out for him, which I'm really glad. But the dampener is no longer a thing for the ZX14 until we can afford a proper one. Either looking at another GPR or looking at a Scott's Performance dampener. But until then, I'm gonna have to somehow find a way to cough up $1,000 because these dampeners are no joke and very expensive. Now, in other news, I had told you guys that I was awaiting for the arrival of a Power Commander, and we just got our hands on one. A wonderful friend who I used to go to the track with way back in the day at the CSCS racing events happened to have a Power Commander on hand. He had a ZX14 just like mine. He had plans to boost it, whatnot, but never ended up doing that, ended up selling the bike. And he had a couple of wonderful things left over. When I saw his name on Marketplace and I saw that he had a Power Commander for sale, I called him right away. I said, hey man, I need this thing right now. Gave me a wicked deal. It just showed up to my house. I'm really excited to open this thing and see what it's all about.
That I can get.
Yeah.
So that's easy. Just need a, something not sharp.
Yeah, keep going, it's all good. So I got myself a slave here. I'm just kidding.
This thing.
Yeah. So we're getting the Power Commander 5 installed on it right now. The velocity stacks that we got from Factory Pro ended up actually being such a stubborn installation that we said just forget about it. The issues that we ran into was just the rubber booting would not seal and line up with the throttle bodies individually, and it caused for an issue to get them to line up and also reach the throttle body. Now we just said forget it, we'll just keep the stock stacks in there, cleaned up the air filter box, and now we're just removing the coolant reservoir to get the brown throttle body plug, which is that fucker right there, and hook that up to the Power Commander 5. So shouldn't be too much longer. Power Commander's on. Don't get it wrong, I love working on my own bikes and cars and whatnot. However, when I run into these silly little issues that weren't caused by me in the first place, this is where it gets really frustrating. See, I had these front forks serviced at another shop in town. The lack of professionalism was completely evident. I mean, the axle bolt here was completely rounded off by the person. And just finding out today when I want to service my own rotors, these caliper bolts were completely over torqued. And so the consequence, one's rounded off now. I can't get the caliper bolt out of the way, and can't even service my own freaking rotor now. So I have to take it to a shop and get it done right again. And it's just another fucking unnecessary expense. Or else this whole thing would have been super easy to do because I've serviced the brakes on these before, but I didn't do the rotors, done the wheel bearings, done the tire, but can't get the rotor done. Nonetheless, I went ahead and tied it up for now. This is gonna go to the shop to get a valve adjustment and a valve cover gasket done anyways, so I'm gonna have to add another required maintenance on the bill. So I could go ahead and power it up, get it to run, but I didn't even bring myself any fresh oil or anything, so kind of coming out all this way was sort of a waste, but I don't know, it is what it is.
Flash forward to a few weeks ahead, we are now in May. The ZX14 has not been touched for a few weeks now. With the weather, it's been kind of hard to go back and forth. We've been getting snow, we've been getting random storms, it's been raining like crazy, the temperature has been fluctuating unpredictably. But that is spring where I live. Does that mean that it's gonna slow me down? Yes, probably. Regardless, I'm not stressing because the service I'm going to have the dealer do is going to take place on May 14th. In this given time, I'm gonna go back, get the fairings back on the bike, flush out the fuel, get fresh fuel in there, along with new oil and a new oil filter. But the dealer is willing to do several things on the bike. Like mentioned, I'm going to get the front rotor installed by the dealer, along with getting those bracket caliper bolts loosened and replaced with new ones that I ordered from Kawasaki directly. They're going to also do the valve clearance and the valve adjustment if necessary, as well as the valve cover gasket and the O-ring gaskets for my spark plugs. They're going to go ahead and change the spark plugs while they're in there as well. We are almost ready to ride this bike with a fresh new platform, sort of. For me, at least. ZX14 is a very capable bike and it has so much power, more than anyone else really needs for their own good. I'm not gonna be used to the torque curve. I'm not sure how snappy the throttle is gonna be, but I anticipate that whatever I've been doing is not for the intentions of making it faster. I wanted to bring the bike back to life. I understand this bike's been through a lot of harsh riding in the past ownership, and I wanted to give it a chance to kind of flourish and feeling stock again, essentially. When I say stock again, I really just want to bring back the bike to life. I want it to feel like it was new again. You see, with engines, they go through wear and tear, especially with different histories of how they've been ridden back in the day. Prior to my current ownership, I want to essentially eliminate as much of the wear and tear the engine has experienced over time. So doing things like the valve cover gasket, the O-ring gaskets, the new spark plugs, the new sprockets, the new chain, and all these other things, I'm really just trying to bring the bike back to what it should have been when it was taken off the showroom floor. I'm not anticipating crazy power gains with this, and I'm not trying to at all state that I want to do all this to make more power, because the ZX14 has plenty of power, more than I ever need. You've seen me ride my 650R, my 250R, and I was very thrilled with these motorcycles because I don't ask for a lot from these two-wheelers. They are fun, and they can always be dangerous in their own way. But I know that what I want is to bring this bike back to what it should have been after all this time. Get it riding back to my apartment, and then when the day comes, I'm gonna hand deliver all the parts and the bike to the dealer, and hopefully by around May 14th-ish, they'll start working on it. So that's it for now. I'm essentially just closing off this chapter of repairing and wrenching away at the ZX14 over the past couple of months. We are now hopeful that all the work that's underway is going to refresh the motorcycle and it'll be giving me a peace of mind when I ride this thing. For now, we're just gonna go ahead and assume that we are jumping forward a few weeks from now with a new video overviewing everything that's been done to the bike and letting you know what my thoughts are, and hopefully we will see me on a motovlog perspective when I ride that ZX14 for your guys' entertainment. If you had any questions or were interested in seeing anything else, don't be shy to leave a comment. My name is Hyperbiker. It's always fun getting hyper with you all, and until next time, cheers.